So does that justify everything that you do?
Excuse me, let me tell you something. What do you think they were doing it for? Because they were trying to save us from poverty? No, they did it because they needed us. It's honor and family and loyalty. And some of us wanted a piece of the action. Now, we weren't educated like the Americans, but we had the balls to take what we wanted.
Hey, what a give, anybody? What it do? Welcome to another live edition of On The Go right here on Driving to the Top Productions. I'm your host. I'm Big Haas, but you know what? All damn month long, I'm H-Town Haas. H-Town, where you at? Throw them H's up. This show's for you guys tonight. We got a big one for H-Town tonight.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods. Top-notch hoes, get the most, not the little.
What's up, everybody? Glad you're tuning in on this hump day. It's Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. Hope you guys having a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful new year as we're continuing on with this brand new year. You know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on X at BigHoss337. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. This show you can find on X and Instagram at _TXLA. Driving to the Top Productions. Find them everywhere as well. Subscribe to them on YouTube. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and X as well. This show is presented by Rogue Energy, the official gaming drink of On The Go, and by Poggers, the official vitamin supplement of On The Go. Whoever you choose, whether you go to rogueenergy.com or download the app on any mobile device or go to poggers.shop, that's the promo code right there, OTG, to get 10% off of your order. I'm about to start advertising these guys. And shout out to Frost Buddy. I don't have it right now. Had to wash it, but I got a new one coming. I got an XL coming. Give Frost Buddy some love. Maybe might be an affiliate. Fingers crossed. But let's get this ball rolling. H-Town, throw them up. Tonight's show's for y'all. As a matter of fact, let's kick it off in the 713. Shall we? Let's go. Welcome to the land where it just don't stop. Trunks pop, tops drops, and the front end hot. Like Zero says, I'm so Houston. Yes, we are. Part-time Houstonian, former Houstonian for me. Let's start off with the big elephant in the room, folks. The Houston Texans beat, not just beat, belt to ass to the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6. Get back! Get back! So move on to the second round of the playoffs for the third consecutive year. But how about this? For the first time ever, the Houston Texans won a playoff game on the road in franchise history. What an accomplishment. What a night. I loved every second of it. I didn't think it was going to be a belt to ass that they put. The steel curtain has been rolled up. Aaron Rodgers got a belt to ass. So bad, Mike Tomlin resigned as head coach for the Steelers after, 17, 18 years? Holy shit. Couple numbers in this game. 408 total yards, 244 passing, 164 total rushing. CJ Stroud, not his best performance, but hey, 21 for 32, 250 passing yards. He did throw a touchdown to Christian Kirk for 6 yards. Despite can't run the ball, did throw a pick, and he fumbled the ball about 5 times in this game. He able to recover 3 of those 5 fumbles he had. But I'm going to stay positive for H-Town on this one. We're not here to talk bad. We here to talk good about this playoff win and them moving on, and got people wondering, can this team go all the way with this defense? Oh, we'll get started on the defense in a bit. Doing a couple final more touches that I got to bring up for this team. Oh, shit. While we get that up, let's go ahead and look at some other offensive stats here. Start with the run game. Woody Marks led in rushing, 19 carries for 112 yards and a rushing touchdown. Nick Chubb, 10 carries for 48 yards. Christian Kirk led in receiving, 8 catches for 144 yards, folks, and a touchdown. Jaden Higgins, 3 catches for 39 yards. This defense on a roll, 61 total tackles, 32 solo, 4 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss. Another pick 6. This one for 50 yards, courtesy of Kalen Bullock. Woo-wee. What a game, man. What a game. I couldn't be more proud of H-Town. Big performance, man. Big one. And it's far from over yet. As of now, they're controlling their own destiny. They're going to hit the road again. And I like how they even went back in the past. Like, D'Amico Ryan played against Aaron Rodgers once, and he sacked him back in, I think it was in 2008. Well, now they get ready to go to New England, who they played was back in 24, 2 years ago. They beat the Patriots. They've won the last 3 out of 5. They beat New England. But this is going to be, I think, the 3rd time they'll play New England in a playoff matchup. Overall, this is going to be the 16th meeting between these two, but for the 3rd time in a playoff game. They've met back in 2012 for a divisional matchup where they lost to the Patriots 41-28. But the last time they met in a playoff game was in 2017, where Houston fell 34-16. Actually, both of those games were in Foxborough. It's a tough place to play. But can they get over that hump and beat this newly New England team that's new coaching, new quarterback, Drake May, which the AFC ever since, I know I'm going to get to the talk later in the playoffs, but it's ever since Mahomes got eliminated for playoff contention, it's been more wide open for the AFC. It's like everyone in the AFC is now controlling basically everyone in the playoffs is controlling their own destiny. I'll talk more about that when we get to the playoff talk. But for now, get ready. It's not over yet for the Texans. They hit the road again. They go to New England to play Drake May and the Patriots. It's going to be a Sunday matchup, by the way. I want to say it's a 2 p.m. kickoff on Fox. I know it's an early start time because the Houston Cougars basketball team, which we'll get to in our next segment, they got a game with West Virginia on Sunday. They moved their time up so all the fans in Houston can watch their playoff game with the Patriots. 2 p.m. kickoff on ESPN ABC. Texas coming in 12-5. New England 14-3. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. Let's see how it's looking here. Pretty even matchup. New England's only favored 52%, while Houston is a 48% favorite. But it's that defense, man. You do some comparisons. C.J. Stroud's leads in passing, over 3,000 passing yards this season, where Drake May's damn near over 4,400 passing yards. Woody Marks leading in rushing, 703 total rushing yards this season, while Henderson for the Patriots, 911 total rushing yards. And then you look on the receiving end, Nico Collins, who is questionable. Don't know if he will be able to return in this playoff matchup, but he leads in receiving, over 1,100 receiving yards, while Diggs for New England is over the 1,000 mark as well. Right, just hit about the 1,000 mark. So it's going to be a pretty offensive battle. But don't count out Patriots defense too. Landry leads in sacks with averaging 8.5 sacks. And I don't know if he's saying leading in tackles for the Patriots. Linebacker Spillane, I'm saying his name right, 97 total tackles for the Patriots this season, leading in tackles, while Shahir leads with 103 total tackles this season for that Texans defense. It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm excited. Hopefully they can pull it off. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it ain't going to be a blowout. This one will actually be a close game. I could see this one being like a one-possession game. I'm going to say maybe 21-17 or 30 to, if it gets a little higher, I'll say 30-27. But I think they could pull it off. Besides, we could use a little help. In the other playoff matchup for the AFC, Bills and the Broncos, let's say the Texans win. They'll have to hit the road again if the Broncos beat the Bills. But if somehow Buffalo pulls it off and upsets Denver and Houston wins too, we got an AFC title game in H-Town. They'll be rocking if that could happen. We would love that. If Buffalo can beat Denver and Houston wins, and then they can host the AFC Championship the first time ever. Talk about what a way to make an impact in your first AFC title appearance. Host it in your own stadium instead of having to play on the road throughout your postseason. Fingers crossed. Throw their mages up. Hopefully they can get this win. And we'll see if they have to hit the road in Denver or go to Buffalo. Well, that's all the talk I got for the Texans for now. We're going to keep the H-Town talk going. Let's go ahead and talk Houston Cougars basketball. Cue the sirens, H-Town. We went from throwing the H's, now we throwing the paws up because this is the red alert.
Go Cougs, this a red alert.
C-O-U-G-A-R-A. Who it's all about? It's all about the Cougars. It's all about the Cougars.
You want to talk about H-Town being on point with the Texans? They also on point with the Houston Cougars. Not skipping a beat after that heartbreaking national championship loss. So far, this team has been dominant this season. As of right now, they're currently 16-1, undefeated 4-0 in the Big 12. Currently, last I checked, they were still the number 7 team in the country. But let's go ahead and look at that top 25 right now for college basketball for the men's. As of right now, yes, Houston is still the 7th seed in men's basketball in the rankings. Couple changes were made. Arizona's still the number 1 seed, so it's like Big 12's been on top. The top, there's actually 3 teams in the top 10 for the Big 12. Arizona, Iowa State, and Houston. Iowa State's the 2 seed. You got UConn at 3, Michigan 4, 5 Purdue, 6 Duke, Houston 7, 8 Nebraska, 9 Gonzaga, 10 Vanderbilt, 11 BYU, 12 Michigan State, 13 Illinois, 14 North Carolina, 15 Texas Tech, 16 Virginia, 17 Arkansas, 18 Alabama, 19 Florida, 20 Louisville, 21 Georgia, 22 Clemson, 23 Utah State, 24 Tennessee, and 25 Seton Hall. Since last week's show, UH has played 2 Big 12 matchups, got 2 big wins. First, they went on the road to Waco. Hell of a game with Baylor. Got close. Baylor was taking a lead at first point of the game, and then Houston just came back and ran them over. Ended up winning by 20. They beat them 77-55. Couple numbers in this game. Emmanuel Sharp led in this game with 17 points. Plus, he had 5 rebounds and 2 assists, but Emmanuel Sharp led with rebounds with 11. Ended the night with 12 points. Joseph Tugler led he led in rebounds. Kingston Flemings led in assists with 7. Plus, he had 1 turnover, 2 rebounds, and 10 points. Isaiah Harwell had 12 points and 3 rebounds, and Chris Sinak Jr. had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist against Baylor. Then the other night, last night, they were back at Fertitta, racking the Love You Blue. They had the white uniforms with the blue lettering outlined in red. Looked pretty cool. I love when the football team do that too. On their Love You Blue night, hosted West Virginia. Another dominant performance. They beat the Mountaineers 77-48. Milos Uzan led in that game, 17 points. He also had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover. Chris Sinak Jr. led in rebounds with 10, plus he had 7 points, 2 assists, and a turnover and 2 steals. Kingston Flemings again leading in assists with 7, plus he had 1 turnover, 10 points and 5 rebounds. Joseph Tugler, 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals, and Emmanuel Sharp, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a turnover, and 2 steals. This team playing like they want to win it all and could win it all. Meanwhile, they should still be undefeated, but hey, shit happens. Yeah, they lost one game to a very good Tennessee team. Would be one of 5 teams remaining undefeated, but we're down to 4. Arizona, Iowa State, Nebraska, and Vandy, all still undefeated. I want to say Miami, Ohio was still undefeated, but I digress. Yeah, so five teams left. Would have been 6 with Houston. They would have beat Tennessee. So that's what we got here. What's next for the Cougars? Let's find out before we keep on rolling. So, they got just one game. But remember, I said they're going to play on Sunday. They host Arizona State at Fertitta. But they're going to tip off at 5:30 p.m. on ESPN following the Texans game with New England. So they're going to be on the same network. So H-Town, keep it on ESPN all day. Rock your Navy or red for the Texans. And don't forget, they announced a blackout at Fertitta against Arizona State. Wear black. I got mine ready for the city. Shout out to Amazon. Got my shirt ready for Sunday. And another win. Arizona State 10-6. It should be a hell of a game. But that's the only game the Cougars will have till next week's show. But I think they can pull it off. They have been playing fantastic, not skipping a beat. I do believe they will win another Big 12 championship. I think they'll win both the conference and the tournament. And hopefully back in the Final Four, go to Indianapolis and win your first national championship. Well, with that being said, let's get to our final segment for H-Town. Let's close it out before we move across to Louisiana. Let's go ahead and talk the Houston Rockets. Get the lighters ready. Throw them H's up because it is time to light the fuse.
Light it up, light it up, light it up, light the fuse, light it up, light it up.
Taking out like a rocket.
Light it up, light it up, light it up, light the fuse, light it up, light it up, light it up.
Taking out like a rocket.
The Rockets at first was going to have me pissed off coming on this show, but that changed the other night because they finally won a game. They had a 3-game losing streak, and it all started with those back-to-back games in Portland. After that buzzer beater shot that they called back, they went back and lost. They lost that game 103-102 on last week's show. Quick numbers here. Kevin Durant led that heartbreaking loss with 37 points. Tari Eason led rebounds with 13, and Amen Thompson led an assist with 6, which KD also closed out with 4 rebounds and 3 turnovers. Eason closed out with 15 points, 3 assists, and 3 turnovers, and Thompson closed out with 2 turnovers and 24 points. Then they had to go play another game against Portland 2 nights later, the last Friday. Another one they should have won, but they fell 111-105. Kevin Durant, again, led in that game with 30 points. He also led in rebounds with 12 and assists. He led in everything in that Portland game. In the second one, 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, plus 2 turnovers. He led in everything. Amen Thompson had 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 turnovers, 2 steals. Reed Shepherd, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 turnover. And Jabari Smith had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist in the second game with Portland. Then on Sunday, they still remain out west. They go to Sacramento and fall to the Kings 111-98. Sacramento's been a dark horse lately. Another one they should have won, but Amen Thompson led in this game in everything. 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists with 5 turnovers. KD had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 turnover against the Kings. And Şengün finally back. I think this was his first game back. He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and 1 block in his return game against Sacramento Kings. But they go to Chicago. No, Chicago came to Toyota last night. Houston got the dub at home, 119-113, dropped a 3-game losing streak, now puts them at 23-14 overall, where the Rockets are currently 6th in the West. In the league, they're 8th overall in the league, and in their division, they are runner-ups right behind the San Antonio Spurs, which San Antonio has been hot right now. Let's talk about that win over the Bulls. Watched a little bit of, watched some of it. Kevin Durant led in that game in points and rebounds. 28 points, 10 rebounds. Also finished with 4 assists and 3 turnovers, but Şengün led in assists with 11. 3 turnovers with 23 points and 7 rebounds to close his night. Min Thompson, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and 2 steals. And then finally, Jabari Smith, 18 points and 7 rebounds in their win against the Bulls. Tough challenge ahead. Every time they play this team, they always come up just a tad bit short, but they're coming to our house. Tomorrow night, they welcome SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not only the number 1 team in the hottest team in the NBA right now, 34-7 overall record. They better be glad it's not San Antonio Spurs. Can they finally overcome and beat the Thunder? That's what they got tomorrow night. Well, they got like back-to-back games here. They host the Thunder tomorrow night. You can watch it on Prime Video. Then Friday night, they're back at home hosting the Timberwolves. You can watch this on ESPN. So tomorrow night, Prime Video. Friday night, ESPN. 6:30 tomorrow night, 8:30 Friday night. Then Sunday, well, they're back at home again. Actually, their next 4 games are at home. Well, 5 straight home games if you count the Bulls win just recently. So at the Thunder, Thunder at home tomorrow night. Timberwolves at home Friday night. The Pelicans at home Sunday. And Tuesday, January 20th, they host the San Antonio Spurs. That's going to be on NBC or Peacock. I'm going to have to tune in for that one. That's going to be a big one right there. Hopefully they can pull it off. But that's what they got till next week's episode. So I'm going to be recapping 4 Rockets games just like I did just now. Well, that's all the H-Town talk. I love H-Town so much. I cannot wait to come back. Oh, speaking of coming back, let me close out with one more thing. This is going to be a quickie. I got my first ever positive Dynamo talk right here. We got the Fox back himself. Hector Herrera, the midfielder, is back with the Houston Dynamo. Thank you, Jesus. We got a dominant player back with the Houston Dynamo. We need the Fox, man. Hopefully turn this team around. So welcome back to H-Town. Welcome back to the Shell, Hector Herrera. Hopefully you can turn this team around. Let's go, baby. All right. Now let's take it to my neck of the woods. Let's kick this off in the 337 and jump to another edition of Magnie's Basketball Talk that I call the Bayou Bandit Duel, baby. Let's go. Now we in the 337 where we're going to be talking Magnie's basketball, or as I like to call it, the Bayou Bandit Duel. And Magnie's is just reloading with Bill Armstrong and this new team with Will Wade at NC State and Christian Shoemate playing G League ball in Birmingham. I was at Saturday's game. I was at TLA when they hosted Southeastern. Fun game to watch. They got the win, 73-61 over the Lions. Quick recap of this game. Tyshawn Archie led in points with 25 points. He also closed out with 6 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and 4 rebounds. Yeah, but if I'm saying the name right, Giannis. Oh Lord, I'm gonna get the clip ready for this one. Giannis Najanga?
If one of y'all says some silly ass name, this whole class is gonna feel my wrath.
Giannis Njanga led in rebounds with 9 and closed out with 7 points. And Javon Garcia, 10 points and 2 rebounds. Plus, Javon Garcia had a historic moment. Let's see if I can pull it up. But that was on Saturday. On Monday, they hosted Nichols. Didn't get to watch it. But they got the win, 94-68 against the Colonels. Larry Johnson led in that game with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and a turnover. Tyshawn Archie, he also led in rebounds too. Tyshawn Archie led in assists with 5, plus he had 2 turnovers, 13 assists, and 2 rebounds. Javon Garcia, which this was a historic moment for him. In this game, he had 12 points with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a turnover. Javon scored 12 points in this game to reach 1,000 career points at McNeese. He was actually the first player in school history to hit 1,000 points twice. He did something the great Joe DeMoss never did at McNeese. So shouts out to Javon Garcia. Retire the man's jersey. He's going to be a hell of a future star in the NBA. Maybe he's our ace guy. Like he's now our Christian Shoemate. I've been saying it was Larry Johnson. But, he's a hell of a player too. But man, who's really carrying this team right now to victory? Because this team's been kicking ass. Also, Garway Duel, 11 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, and 2 turnovers. McNeese now 14-3 overall, 7-1 in the Southland Conference. They're already on a 4-game win streak. And with what they got coming up next, I got 5 of them. They're about to have a 5-game win streak because what's next for the Pokes? They head down to the border, Edinburgh, Texas. Where you at? They go play UT Rio Grande Valley on Saturday, who is currently 6-11. Win. But what they got next, big test for them Monday night. Well, next 2 games are on the road in Texas. They go to Edinburgh for UT Rio Grande Valley, and then Monday night, or should I say Monday afternoon, they go down to Corpus to play Texas A&M Corpus Christi. The Islanders, hell of a basketball team. The team that had the Southland Conference title, I think back-to-back before McNeese did it after them, until McNeese won back-to-back. So, and they're actually going to play twice. They're playing them on the 19th in Corpus, but then I think it's in February, I got it marked. February 21st, they're going to be at Townsley Law. I'll definitely be there for that. And that game's going to be on national television. McNeese getting the spotlight at TLA, baby. Let's go. But that's what we got next for the Pokes. 2 road games in Texas for next show. Next home game I'm going to be at. The hosting University of New Orleans. I'm going to talk more about that next week. But that's all I got for the Bayou Bandit Duel McNeese basketball talk. McNeese still kicking ass. Let's keep this win streak going. Let's go, baby. Go Pokes. All right. Without any further ado, folks, let's continue this down the road across I-10. Let's now take it to the 225. Let's go to Tigerland and talk some LSU. Good, bad, and all sorts of good shit. Let's go. Whoo, man. You know what? I was going to save the best for last, but you know what? I want to just go ahead and start this off because every single day when I wake up, I get alerts about LSU and Lane Kiffin dominating the transfer portal day after day. I gave you my report from last week of what we've gotten so far, and what I was hoping we would have got, we got even better. I know I said hopefully by next week I'd have an answer on a quarterback. Well, guess what? I got your answer right about now. So of some of the players I've mentioned, I know there's I'm actually break a few more people down, but last week I brought up people like them picking up Jackson Harris, Malachi Thomas, Trey Brown, Jace Brown, Eugene Wilson, just to name a few that Lane Kiffin picked up in the transfer portal. Well, now we picked up some more for people, folks. Oh, and we even got some return. As a matter of fact, I want to tell you a couple big returns. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the year. Whit Weeks is coming back to Baton Rouge to finish his senior year. So now we still got all 3 Week brothers for another season. And by some miracle, Lane Kiffin was able to get Caden Durham to stay at LSU. So that's a big win over there. Unfortunately, the only one I know we're definitely going to lose, Harold Perkins Jr. did declare the NFL draft. It would have been nice if we'd have kept him one more year, but hey, I mean, man, go do your thing, bro. Thank you for everything you've done for LSU. You wore that number 7 proudly, and I wish you nothing but the very best. Let's talk about some of these new coming Tigers we're picking up. We've been wondering, who we're going to get at quarterback. Because, I was hoping we'd have got Damon from Washington, but he made an announcement he's staying with Washington. Probably just as big as them announcing Trinidad Chambliss was going to stay at Ole Miss, but they won't let him, have another eligible year or some shit. Speaking of former LSU Tigers, TJ Finley transferred to his 7th school, and they're calling him the transfer portal king. I lost count of everywhere he played. He was at LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Georgia State, Western Kentucky, Tulane. Not in that order. LSU, Auburn, I think Texas State, then Tulane, then Western Kentucky, then Georgia State. Now he's going to Incarnate Word in San Antonio. I think that I've never seen a guy transfer more than anybody else. I've said my jokes about it. Some people were complaining how they let him transfer 7 times, 6-7 times, but they won't let Trinidad Chambliss, the QB at Ole Miss. I don't know, but we got a quarterback. Matter of fact, we didn't just skip one. We got 3 quarterbacks. Let's talk about the big one. I think we got our starter. Sam Levitt, Arizona State. The number 1 quarterback in the transfer portal. Lane Kiffin got him. This guy last season with Arizona State, he had over 1,600 passing yards, 10 touchdowns. He only threw 3 picks. Plus, he had 73 carries, 306 rushing yards as a quarterback. Plus, he had 5 rushing touchdowns last year with Arizona State. You remember what happened the last time we got a QB from Arizona State? Heisman Trophy winner, Shane Daniels. Look it up. Can lightning strike twice in a bottle getting a QB from Arizona State? This guy could be a Heisman candidate. Did you see that? You saw his tape when he got in the transfer portal. Oh my God, this dude knows how to throw the ball. This dude can scramble. He can throw in the pocket. He can do it all. He's giving me a little bit of Joe Burrow vibes too. Because anytime he's under pressure, he's dangerous. And I've seen him throw long balls and they catch it and run and score. Oh man, this is getting me more hype. He's coming in. I think he's also a redshirt junior. So can you imagine we get him? We at least got him 1 year. Can you imagine if we get him 2 years? Also, we picked up another big quarterback that was on the board. Landon Clark from Alon, FCS school, a freshman. So if he can play his cards right, maybe we can have him all season. He could be a future starter. I know at Alon, he had over 2,300 passing yards, 18 touchdowns. Did throw 8 picks, but he also had 189 carries for 614 total rushing yards last year at Alon and 11 rushing touchdowns. So we got another guy that could run the ball and throw it or whatnot. But we also picked up another quarterback, Hussein Longstreet out of USC. Now, he wasn't a starter, but as a freshman at USC, he did have 103 passing yards and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, we got 2 freshmen from the transfer portal and a redshirt junior. Oh, Lane Kiffin's cooking. Who else we got? That was big. Oh, we got Dylan Jones at running back from Wisconsin, who last year had 76 carries for 300 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. So it's like, hey, we're going to use more than one running back. We still got Caden Durham. Hell, we got Jones. We got Dylan Jones, too. That's going to probably carry the ball a tad bit or 2. What else we got from the transfer portal? Let's look at this. Let's see where we left off. We got what is it? Roman Mothershed from Troy. We got Darren Strayed, offensive tackle from Kentucky. Tyree Holloway, a wide receiver from West Florida. Winston Watkins Jr. coming back to play with Lane Kiffin. We got him from Ole Miss. We got a good set. We got Josh Jackson from McNeese. Jaquan Sprinkle from North Carolina Central. Yeah, his last name's Sprinkle. Malik Elzai, a wide receiver from Illinois. Traylon James from Southern, so he's just moving across the town. Malik Blockton, a defensive tackle from Auburn. Jalen Brown, a defensive end from South Carolina. Jacoby Jones from Copiah Lincoln Community College. Jordan Ross, from a defensive end from Tennessee. We even got some special players. Hayden Craig, a punter from Florida. Mac Mulhern, a lone snapper from Florida. And Scott Starzik, a place kicker from Arkansas. I'm telling you now, folks, I'm not going to go off a brag and say, oh, we're winning it all this year, this upcoming season. I'm not saying that at all. But watch Lane Kiffin bring this team in his first season as head coach to the college football playoffs. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. Be on the lookout. They're going to be a playoff team. You hear that? All right. Well, that's all the LSU football talk I got for the transfer portal. But let's go ahead and talk LSU basketball. Good and bad. So let's get your popcorn ready because it's the time for the PMAX show, folks. Well, it is another edition of the PMAX show where I talk LSU basketball, but you know what? I'm only going to be positive on one team, and that's Kilmulke's Tigers. Yeah, they had a rough start in the SEC, losing 2 in a row when the new year tipped off. But after last week's show, they finally got on that win train, and they finally started winning. And it started, I think it was a Thursday night game. They went to Athens and played Georgia. Just to make sure that's correct. But they got the win over Georgia 80-59. And correct, they did win in Athens. Flau'jae Johnson led in that game with 25 points. She also had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers. Amaya Joyner led in rebounds with 11, with 12 points, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers, and 1 steal and a block. Jada Richard led in assists with 6. Plus, she had 2 turnovers and 2 points. Zakiya Johnson, 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Malaysia Fulwiley, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 turnovers, and 2 steals and 4 blocks against the Georgia Bulldogs. But this past Sunday, they made a statement to the women's college basketball world and to everyone that they haven't been a flop all season. Yeah, they played a lot of small teams and scored triple digits 9 or 10 times in non-conference play. But they took down the number 2 team in the country on a Sunday night at the PMAC for Pat Summit. They backed Pat up. They got it done. They beat Texas 70-65, horns down for women's basketball. Michaela Williams, 20 points in that game. She led. She also led in assists with 4. 2 turnovers, 7 rebounds. Amaya Joyner led in rebounds with 9, with 6 points and 2 assists. Flau'jae Johnson, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And shout out to Kilmulke. Ooh, I love that gold suit she wore. She had the swag. That swag was surfing in the PMAC. And they got another game for Pat Summit. The We Back Pat series matchups. They got another one coming up. They go to Oklahoma, top 15 matchup, 6 versus 13, Sunday, 2 p.m. tip-off on ESPN2. Should be a hell of a game. That's actually the only game we got till next week's episode. But next 2 SEC games are on the road. They'll be back at home not till the 26th. But as of right now, Kim Mulkey's Tigers 16-2 overall, 2-2 in the SEC, the number 12 team in the country. But they're finally winning SEC games. They made a freaking statement against Texas. If they can do the same thing with Oklahoma this weekend and next month on Valentine's Day against South Carolina, you better watch. You better watch Kim Mulkey's Tigers. Now let's talk about this damn shit show. And I'm talking about Matt McMahon's Tigers. So far, they've played 2 SEC games since last show. They actually just finished a game before the show went live. Let's just go ahead and say right now, Matt McMahon's Tigers are 12-5 overall, but they're 0-4 in the SEC. I don't even want to start playing clip shit. And I'm going to just get over the... I only got a review for one damn game. You lost to Vanderbilt 84-73, which Vanderbilt is a good team. They're number 11 in the country. Max McKinnon led with 27 points, plus he had led and assists with 4, and he had 4 rebounds, but Mike Nowako led with 7 rebounds, plus he had 6 points. But you hosted Kentucky, who ain't the same Kentucky team we've seen in the past. You had this game in the bag before you threw it half court with 1.6 seconds left, and a freshman caught it at the free throw line, made a shot, and won the game 75-74.
You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here!
And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
God, this team is fucking ass. They're so bad, I don't even want to review who led and what. This was a disappointment. And it's gonna get they'll be lucky if they win an SEC game this year. I can tell you for a fact, I don't see them winning with what we got till next week's episode. They host Missouri at home on the 17th, 2:30 tip-off on the SEC network. Missouri coming in this game 13-4. I'm calling an L. Then they go to Gainesville to play the defending champs. Has the same record as you, 12-5, but they're 19th in the country. It's a 6 o'clock tip-off on ESPN2. This team is fucking horrific. They need a big change. Matt McMahon, this is where I blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
I'm blowing the whistle because you ain't going to get Will Wade back. You fucking ran him off. I wish we had him back in McNeese, but hey, we're doing them. We're not skipping a beat with Armstrong. But for our sake now, just if you can make a truce or some shit, you need a better coach. Get rid of McMahon. Find someone else. Because I doubt Will Wade would want to come back anyway. This team is so ass. The laughing stock of LSU right now. This makes me want to be ready for LSU baseball, which I don't have it as a thing at the bottom, but I just want to reveal we're getting closer and closer to LSU college baseball. We got about, I want to say we at least got 4 weeks. I'm going to go off a limb and say we got about 4 weeks until February 13th is the opening day of college baseball. So 4 weeks. I was right. Good job, Haas. 4 weeks from Friday will be opening day of college baseball. LSU, last we saw during the preseason top 25, they were the number 1 team in the country. Now they're at 2, but they open up with Milwaukee at the box, and it's a 2 p.m. start time. Why's it got to be while I'm at work? Hell, your first two. Oh my God. Why? Your first two games of the season are very early where I'm at work.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Don't even give me. I'm calling now. I bet Sunday's game is an early start time too. Usually Sundays is always their like day games. Yeah, all three of their games are in daylight, not a night. Your opening night at the box is not at night. Come on, man. I'm trying to be happy. I'm ready for LSU baseball. Oh, by the way, I forgot to play this clip. This is my last clip for LSU boys basketball for the night.
Fucking guys, this fucking team, man, they fucking suck. I'm gonna hate fuck this shit out of you, ref.
All right, let's get positive again because I'm ready for LSU baseball. They open up with Milwaukee February 13th through the 15th between the hours of 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Unfortunately, thought maybe opening night would have been a night game at the box. But here's the preseason top 25 right now for college baseball. I'm going to run through it before we move on to the 504. UCLA's number 1. LSU is at 2. 3 Texas, 4 Mississippi State, 5 Georgia Tech, 6 Coastal Carolina, 7 Arkansas, 8 Louisville, 9 Auburn, 10 TCU, 11 North Carolina, 12 Oregon State, 13 Florida, 14 Tennessee, 15 Georgia, 16 Florida State, 17 NC State, 18 Kentucky, 19 Clemson, 20 Southern Miss, 21 Wake Forest, 22 Miami, 23 Vanderbilt, 24 Arizona, and 25 Texas A&M. So you got 5 SEC teams in the top 10, 3 in the top 5. $11 in the top 25. SEC continuing to roll in baseball, but four more weeks from Friday until LSU baseball is back on our TVs and the quest to win back-to-back and go for title number 9. All right. Let's go ahead and take it to the 504, and then we can talk the rest of the show, but let's go ahead and take it. New Orleans, here we come. Welcome to the 504. Let's go. Should have played back-to-back, but this is going to be a rundown. Going to talk New Orleans Pelicans basketball real quick, or I like to call Let's Take Flight. You know what? I'm actually coming in positive for the New Orleans Pelicans for freaking once. First time this year as well, because they had a 9-game losing streak until last week. Let's see what day it was. It was last week. They broke a 9-game losing streak against the Washington. Last Friday on the 9th, they broke a 9-game losing streak. They beat the Washington Wizards 128-107. Trey Murphy led in that game with 35 points, and he led in assists with he had 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Derek Queen led in rebounds and assists against the Wizards. He had 16 rebounds and 12 assists, plus he also had 14 points. Zion, 31 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a turnover. And Jeremiah Fierce, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 turnovers, and 3 steals. Now, they did lose back-to-back games on Sunday. They went to Orlando and lost to the Magic 128-118, a game they should have won. They should have had a 4-game win streak right now, but they've won 2 out of 4. They lost this one. Zion had led with 22 points. He also had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and 2 steals. Trey Murphy led in rebounds and assists in this game with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Plus, he had 3 turnovers and 21 points. Jordan Poole, 21 points, 2 assists, and 4 turnovers. And Jeremiah Fierce, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. Now, last night, They hosted the Denver Nuggets, who's one of the toughest teams in the West. They almost pulled it off, but they fell towards the end. They fell 122-116 to the Denver Nuggets. Trey Murphy led in this game with 31 points. Plus, he had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, and a steal. But Derek Queen led in rebounds and assists for the second game in a row. Not in a row, but in the last 4 games. Derek Queen, 13 rebounds, 5 assists with 10 points. Sadiq Bey, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Zion, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 turnovers. And Jeremiah Fears, 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then finally, the game just ended about 20 minutes ago. They were at home hosting the Brooklyn Nets. They beat the Nets 116-113, and guess what? The New Orleans Pelicans, took them 3 freaking months, but the Pelicans are now in double-digit win column. They got win number 10. Oh, 1-2 boogie, Shorty George. We in the double
Give me
win column.
1-2 boogie and Shorty George. Shorty George.
We're still the laughing stock of the NBA, but they're not the worst team in the NBA. They're just the second worst. But they're going to play for last place later this week. Let's break down what happened today against the Brooklyn Nets before we see what's next for the Pels. They beat a team that was 11-26. Now they put them at 11-27. Trey Murphy led in points and assists in this game. 34 points, 5 assists. Missy led in rebounds with 12. Shit. Okay, here we go. Trey Murphy also had 9 rebounds in that game. Zion, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. Sadiq Bey, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Missy also had 12 points in that game with 4 assists. That was about the biggest numbers you had in that game. Pels finally got a win at home. What's next for the Pelicans? Well, we got 3 games coming up. This Friday, we're going to see who's the worst team in the NBA. They go to Indianapolis to play a team that was in the NBA Finals last season. And since Tyrese got hurt, they have been the worst team in the NBA. The Indiana Pacers are in last place in the entire league, 9 wins and 32 losses. We're 1 above them with 10 wins and 33 losses. We got to beat this team. They probably can if they can play right. And it's crazy that the Pacers are the heavy favorite because it's in Indianapolis. But hopefully Pels can turn that around. Then they go to Houston to play the Rockets on the 18th. I hate when these two play each other. And then while going live, they'll be hosting the Detroit Pistons. I'll get a final result for that when I do my talk on Take Flight. So that's what we got coming up for the New Orleans Pelicans. They broke a 9-game losing streak. They finally got 10 wins, double digits. And they got a chance to stay away from being in last place starting Friday. So that's all the New Orleans talk I got. Before I get to some recaps and predictions, I brought this up as a hilarious topic. I wish I'd have had Dylan on for this because we joke about it because I don't talk hockey on this show. But if I ever do, I might talk about big stuff. Well, one of the teams I follow, the only team I follow in the South or a team in my time zone is the Nashville Predators. I'm a big fan of the Vegas Golden Knights. I got a little love for the Chicago. I used to love the Chicago Blackhawks, which that's one of Dylan's teams. Dylan's also an Oilers fan. But it's like every time the Preds and the Oilers meet, the internet got to make a joke up, and they call it the Diddy game. Because Diddy's a predator, and he loves freaking baby oil. An Oilers it's hilarious, but it gets kind of annoying, and it sucks when you support a team like Nashville, which their mascot is a saber-tooth. A saber-tooth is a predator, a wild animal, not a freak. Not a sexual freak. But I get it. Oilers, oil, predator, I get it. But golly, it gets annoying at times. I wish they could just be the Nashville Sabretooths. But you know what they mean when they say they're the Predators. It's a wild animal. Which the Preds won that game in overtime. Hang on, I got a comment here. Can Houston win if Nico is out on Sunday? Possibly, yeah. They won with the Steelers. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I just brought this up as shits and giggles. Every time the Preds and the Oilers meet, they got to call it the Diddy game. And on X, they got to post a picture of Diddy. I wonder when they meet again. I mean, they've played. I think this is the second time this season they've played. They went into overtime and won 4-3. They last met on January 6th, where the Oilers won 6-2. And they will play one more time on March 15th in Edmonton. So we're going to get another Diddy game joke coming in March, folks. I brought that up for shits and giggles. Well, it's about to be the end of one run because we're down to one final game. But first, let's go back and recap the semifinals of the college football playoffs. Last Thursday, we had the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Miami Ole Miss. What a game this was. It had me at the edge of my seat, but I got what I wanted. Ole Miss is out. And, of course, the Ole Miss fans are crying and blaming it on Lane Kiffin and LSU and everything. But what a game. Miami won 31-27. They're going back to their own stadium to play for a national championship. First national championship game for Miami since 2002. They're going to go play everyone's favorite team right now. And a big debatable argument I'll get to in a bit. Indiana beat the dog shit. They since the Big Ten championship, they have beat the dog shit out of everybody. They beat the shit out of Oregon in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, 56-22, which very nothing compared to what happened when they met earlier in the season. When they went to Eugene, Indiana got the win by 10. They beat them 30-20. But most of their wins after that were all ass whoopings. They put it on Bama's ass in the Rose Bowl. They just put it on Oregon's ass in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. We're down to one final game, and it comes to you January 19th, the College Football Playoff National Championship in Miami. It's the Miami Hurricanes versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Miami 13-2. Indiana 15-0. Big Ten champs, one win away from being only the second team ever in college football to go 16-0. The only other team that ever did that, I think it was Yale in the 1930s. And people were like, yeah, they got people who don't know their history. They were like, well, look at LSU. No, LSU went 15-0. If we'd have had this playoff scheme in 2019, then yeah, LSU would have been 16-0. No. And I saw a list. There was only 5 or 6 national champions ever to have like a perfect record. LSU was one of them in 2019. Michigan was another team. No, there was a list. You know, LSU was on the list twice. There was a list of many teams in college football that had a perfect season and won a national championship, and Indiana could join that list in their first ever national championship appearance. Remember, Indiana, out of nowhere, that was their first Rose Bowl win. This has been the most magical thing ever. You're talking about a team who 2 years ago went 2-10. 2 years later, you're one win away from a perfect season and winning your first ever national championship in college football. You had your first ever Heisman Trophy winner in Fernando Mendoza last month. What a magical season this was. And it would make perfect sense for Indiana to win this game, which they are a super heavy favorite. 68% think Indiana closes out on Miami in their own stadium to win it all. Now, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure yet if it's going to be a blowout or will it be a close game. Because, real talk, if this would have been anywhere else, if this would have been in New Orleans, I'd have had Indiana blowing the shit out of them. If it had been in freaking Houston, Dallas, SoFi, Levi, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, wherever else, I'd have Indiana blowing them out. But if the fact it's in Miami, you know it's going to be split down the middle. Yeah, Indiana took over Atlanta. There was a lot of red and less green. But I think it's going to be split. One half of Hard Rock is going to be Hoosier red. The other half is either green or orange, whatever their color scheme is going to be for this championship. I think they're wearing orange. I think they're going to make them wear green or, I don't know, green or orange. I don't know what their fans are going to wear. But I think it's going to be a hell of a game for them. I mean, if they blow them out, hell yes. But if I'm going to pick a score here, Indiana wins the national championship. I'm going to say 41-28. Miami's going to get some 41-28. 2-possession game. If they win by 4 or 5 possessions, then hell yes, but 2-possession game. Miami's going to keep it a little close. They might keep it close throughout the entire game until about maybe close to the fourth quarter. Then Indiana's going to do what they've been doing all season. That's dominate. But Indiana is going to win the national championship for the first time ever. I'm calling it now. So there you have it. And then, unfortunately, I won't be talking college football again till August, unless if it involves transfer portal, schedule reveals, and previewing like LSU, Houston, McNeese, UL, and Tulane. But this was a fun ride talking college football for my inaugural year with this show, and I can't wait to continue that on. But after that, the only other football I'm going to have talking is the NFL playoffs, and then for another year, I'm going to be talking the UFL. But let's go ahead and finish this show off. Let's recap the NFL wild card. A crazy wild card weekend, folks. Who would have thought that Carolina was going to hang in with the Rams, but the Rams pulled it off at the end? Let me get the scores up before we move any further. I know it was I think it was a 3-point game. My phone's acting up. Good thing I'm not with Verizon, right? If you're a Verizon customer, did you get your service back? You know how many times we've had that shit happen with AT&T? I don't even get me started. Rams beat the Panthers 34-31. Then the Packers had, I think it was a 21-6 lead. And the Bears, Caleb Williams found the right fingernail polish and just dominated the game and came back and won 31-27. Bills, Jags, hell of a game, but Josh Allen, 27-24 win over the Jags. 49ers eliminate the defending Super Bowl champs. They beat the Eagles 23-19. Prayers to George Kittle. I know he tore his ACL. He's out for the rest of the postseason. It's going to be hard for the 49ers to keep on winning and try and win it, go play a Super Bowl in their own stadium, be the third team to do that. The Patriots, I called it. They were going to blow out the Chargers. They beat them 16-3. And you know what happened Monday night, folks? Texans blow out the Steelers, belt to ass to Aaron Rodgers 30-6. Before we make these predictions, let me just get these out real quick. Let me start with the AFC here. With Patrick Mahomes out, not even making the postseason, those 4 quarterbacks there, Bo Nix, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, or Drake May, one of them is going to have his first Super Bowl appearance and have a chance to win his first championship. Where on the NFC side, the only one, not just in the NFC. Matter of fact, let's bring them all in. Let's bring the NFC guys in too, in quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, and Brock Purdy. Matthew Stafford, out of these 8 quarterbacks, he's the only one that has won a Super Bowl that's in the playoffs. Brock Purdy been to the Super Bowl, but never won one. He's trying to win his first 2. So if I'm doing Steiner math, there's possibly like a 75% chance we can see 2 quarterbacks who never won a Super Bowl play to win one, if they were to find a way to eliminate the Rams. I'm just saying. I know there's a 100% chance we're going to see an AFC quarterback win their first, but there is a 95% chance we're going to see an NFC quarterback win their first when it comes to like a Brock Purdy, a Sam Darnold, and a Caleb Williams. A lot of Steiner math, folks. But this is going to be the most hyped Super Bowl freaking 60 years of the Super Bowl. And we could see new faces, finally new different teams. No Kansas City Chiefs, no Philadelphia Eagles. We got the Elite 8, folks. Who's going to make it to San Fran? Who's going to make it to SoFi Stadium? Let's go ahead and predict them right now. 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. Start with Saturday night. Probably going to be one of the most watched games because everyone's been talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking on Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. We're in the Bills coming off a win over the Jags. Broncos coming off a bye. Probably this may be the only it factor for Josh Allen to overcome, because people say if he can overcome the Denver Broncos, we could see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. Maybe. Bills 12-5, Broncos 14-3. This, to be honest with you, real talk, this is a toss-up because I know I've been talking Broncos, saying I love watching the Broncos. They're a dominant, one of the best teams in the AFC. But I've been preaching about Josh Allen that if he does not get to the Super Bowl or even win one, I don't ever see him even winning one. You now have, you can control your own destiny. You now have a clear path to finally win a championship. No Patrick Mahomes. No, you already overcame Trevor Lawrence. No Patrick Mahomes. No Joe Burrow in the playoffs. This is your shot. This is a toss-up. God, I mean, I probably would have said the Denver Broncos, but Broncos are favored. 51% think Broncos pull it off, but good God. Buffalo is going to probably find a way to sneak in there, but I'm still going to go off a limb and say the Broncos win. But I won't be surprised if Buffalo win. If Buffalo wins and the Texans win, I said Houston hosts the AFC Championship. There's a 1 in a million chance they can host it or even get to it. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I think the Broncos pull it off. I'm going with Denver Broncos. And then Saturday night, once again, we get another division showdown in the playoffs. Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. 49ers 12-5, Seahawks 14-3. Niners coming off a win over the Eagles, Seahawks coming off a bye week. Now, the last time they met, Seahawks won the division in San Fran. Before that, they met week 1 in Seattle. 49ers got the win in Seattle. They beat them 17-13. South fitting, they started off the regular season together and ended the regular season together, and now they're going to play one more time in the postseason. It's in Seattle. The last time it was in Seattle, the Niners won, but losing George Kittle to an injury, I don't like their chances. And the Seahawks, I have been saying week after week after week, they are one of the, if not the most dangerous team in the NFC right now, with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. But it's JSN has to be the impact player in this game. So I'm going with the Seahawks. Going with the 12th man in C-Town to beat the 49ers and move on to the NFC Championship. Then we go to Sunday. Texans, Patriots, CJ Stroud versus Drake May. Battle of the defenses. the best defense versus maybe the third best defense in the AFC. Texans 12-5, New England 14-3. I am so confident they can pull this off, and I'm going with the Texans. I think they can pull it off and beat the Patriots. I'm going to be honest with you. But it's going to be a low-scoring game. It ain't going to be a blowout. I said either 21-17 or 30-27, something like that. Texans win. And then finally, Rams, Bears, Matthew Stafford versus Caleb Williams. Rams 12-5, Bears 11-6. As soon as Caleb Williams finds the right fingernail polish, they're going to win this game. With what I saw against Carolina, I am not confident the Rams is the most dangerous team in the NFC anymore. You barely beat a shitty Carolina team. Plus, it's in Chicago. I haven't seen Chicago this relevant since 2006 season. Plus, with all the drama about if they're going to lose their team, they're going to move out of Chicago. The Chicago Bears are not leaving Chicago, folks. I don't know if that's AI shit. You can't believe fucking anything on the more with fucking AI these days. I don't believe they're going to move to Indiana. If anything, they'll move to a suburb in Chicago and still be the Chicago Bears. They'll be what the Cowboys is in Arlington, what the 49ers is in Santa Clara, or anyone or any other NFL team that's playing in a suburb city, like the Jets and the Giants in the Meadowlands. Another one. They are not, or the Cardinals in Glendale. They are not leaving Chi-Town, especially with the way they're playing right now. Now, to be honest, of how old Soldier Field is, what they're going to find there, they're going to get their problems solved. I don't think they need to build a new stadium. If your stadium is over 50 years old and you're still kicking ass in it, I think they should just automatically keep it. Look at the Packers with Lambeau. Look at the Saints with the Superdome. I feel like Soldier Field is irreplaceable. It's so historic. It's over 100 years old. Why get rid of it? Keep the shit. Just keep renovating it. You'll never see Green Bay get rid of Lambeau, and you damn sure will never see the Saints get rid of the Superdome. They're just going to keep renovating and making it better. That's what I believe. I believe the Bears are going to stay in Chicago. They're not going to move to a suburb. They're going to keep Soldier Field. Where is Ken at? Man, if you're tuning in, shout out Ken and Ken in the morning. We could be talking for hours if we were talking about the Bears and Soldier Field in the future. If he's listening, we'll make it happen one day. But I'm going with the Bears over the Rams. So that would put my conference championships next week. Broncos, Texans for the AFC, Seahawks, Bears for the NFC. Fun show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Same time, same place next Wednesday night. So that'll be January 21st. Might have an early start time. I'm not sure yet. I'll keep you updated. I might have a guest or two on. Talk NFC Championship, AFC Championship games coming up. Talk college basketball. Talk whoever walks out of Miami as the national champions of college football, which I believe is going to be Indiana. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed weekend. It's going to be freezing cold. Talking about Arctic temperatures. We might have another damn snowstorm here like we did a year ago. Other than that, peace, love, God bless. I love you guys. Catch you next week. Y'all have a good one.